Hey everybody, Alex Kozora, SteelersDepot.com, back with some more Pittsburgh Steelers recap and analysis of the Pittsburgh Steelers' big 30-23 win over the Seattle Seahawks on Sunday. Pittsburgh now 9-7 on the year. Still need to take care of business next week against Baltimore. Still need help to get in the playoffs, but that path is now as clear as ever. Let's talk about this game and where Pittsburgh goes from here. And before we start, if you guys could like this video, also subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate that. And in terms of where this team goes from here, it's going to be Mason Rudolph leading this team into Week 18. There should be no question about that. Another really strong game by him. Maybe didn't have the gaudy plays the Bengals game did, and receivers made some catches and maybe helped him out a little bit. You think about the Pickens great diving grab on third down, Deontay snagging one over his head, etc. But just more of the same. A really strong run game. Pittsburgh physical up front. The O-line really set the tone for this one. They won the point of attack. The running backs ran angry. I mean, as angry as you're ever going to see two dudes take it to a defense, and Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren. Power runs, stiff arms, legs churning forward, pile moving forward and falling ahead. The touchdown to Najee Harris had is the second one, I should say, where the O-line and the tight ends basically pulled him in. Just kind of sums things up right there. So Pittsburgh imposed their will. They set the tone. They were physical. They stayed in manageable situations. They were 6 of 13 on third down. They dominated really time of possession over 37 minutes. They had 71 plays to Seattle's 49 in this one. So they really just, set the tempo and kept things in control, which was good because Pittsburgh's defense, they had issues and they were leaking a bit, and the run defense and tackling was not that great. And so while the Seattle Seahawks were efficient running the ball, there wasn't the volume there because of the lack of opportunity from Pittsburgh controlling the ball so much on offense. So just a really good showing overall across the board. Some things to clean up, some ball security stuff from the receivers. Luckily it didn't hurt Pittsburgh, but just situationally 7 red zone trips. They were 3 of 7, which is not a great figure, but that last one was on the kneel down, so throw that one out. 3 of 6, but still just the opportunities, the trips, taking care of the football, getting big plays in the run game, in the pass game, being aggressive late, closing that one out, not giving Seattle the ball back late. Just a really, really well-rounded game. Defensively, again, some issues in this one. Run defense tackling, not where it needs to be. I was a little surprised by how much Pittsburgh struggled, even given their injuries there. Seattle had not done a great job this year running the ball. They lost some linemen in this one. And Walker just kind of felt like he got better as the game went on until he exited with a shoulder injury. Maybe that was the best thing overall for Pittsburgh in this game. But, just early stop. I thought the opening possession, Tomlin goes forward on fourth down. They don't convert. Seattle's got the ball around the 40-yard line, and Pittsburgh forces a 3-and-out. And that's just a tough spot for the defense to start in. But to get that, immediate 3-and-out was a really good way to start the day. Didn't necessarily, end in that spectacular fashion. It waned the production and the defensive output throughout the game. Joey Porter Jr. taking his lumps against DK Metcalf. James Pierre comes in to replace him. He gets picked on. Some issues overall. But again, the offense kind of playing good defense. They kept the score down, and Pittsburgh getting just enough stops in this one. And then, of course, the huge play there from rookie Nick Herbig, and his, just per snap production is insane. Guy gets, a couple snaps a game, and in literally every game he's making an impact somehow, some way, a tackle for loss, a sack, a big pressure, something really meaningful in the stat sheet. And then when you watch the tape, and so impressed by that guy and his effort, the Jaylen Warren of this defense. And so his, strip sack fumble in the fourth quarter of that one that allowed Pittsburgh to have a 2-possession lead to go up 30-20. And gave them the margin they needed to close that one out. That was monumental. So overall, really good win. Going to keep this video a little bit shorter. In terms of the path for Pittsburgh, essentially the easiest path is if Pittsburgh beats Baltimore and then one of Jacksonville and Buffalo loses. The Bills play the Dolphins. Jacksonville faces the Titans. And so if one of those teams were to lose and Pittsburgh beats Baltimore, who locked up the 1 seed in the AFC, they're going to almost certainly rest their starters, including Lamar Jackson and likely others. They got some injuries they're dealing with, especially in the secondary right now. Kyle Hamilton, other names. Point is, if Pittsburgh can win, Buffalo or Jacksonville were to lose, Pittsburgh becomes the 7 seed in the wild card race, and they will play the 2 seed on a wildcard weekend. So there's other paths in terms of ties. There's even one where Pittsburgh could lose against Baltimore and still get in, but the most likely, the real primary scoreboard watching to watch is Buffalo and Jacksonville. So a couple of ways for Pittsburgh to get in. Again, this really assumes in 99% of the cases that they have to beat Baltimore, obviously, but they're going to have a much better chance of that with the Ravens resting their starters. So in a lot of ways, this thing didn't break perfectly in terms of the outcome of Week 17 besides Pittsburgh, outside of Pittsburgh, but there's still, I think, a very clear path and a decent chance of it happening. Will it happen? Who the heck knows right now? I'm not thinking about that too much, but the path is, I think, pretty obvious to get into the playoffs, and Rudolph should lead this team. He's earned that right, and while Tomlin did not commit to a starting quarterback for Week 18, you can put some good money. It will be Mason Rudolph. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you guys watching. I'm sure there's some stuff I missed. I'm just kind of giving a broader view of this game. Happy New Year. What a great way for Pittsburgh to ring in the new year. And again, please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. Appreciate the listening. A lot of recap, a lot of analysis on the site for Steelers Depot and the channel coming up. Thank you again, and we'll talk to you soon.